It's funny how adding two little letters RS at the end of any Porsche changes the way you think about the car, a more track-focused version. This is the Porsche GT3 RS. It is indeed the most unique car Porsche currently makes. It has no turbos, just a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6, making 520 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. That revs to 9,000 RPM. Yes, you heard me correctly, 9,000 RPM. But how might it drive? That's what I'm here to find out.
Rewind a couple years back, I remember walking into a Porsche dealer with my dad, and I remember seeing this black 911 with this big wing on it, and I'm thinking to myself, what is that car? And then a sales guy told me it was a Porsche GT3. Previously, that was a 991. This is the 991.2, and that was just a normal GT3. This is the GT3 RS. So the 2019 GT3 RS, this is the facelifted version of the 2016 991 GT3 RS. This is the 0.2, the facelifted one. So let's check out what's new from this car versus the old one. RS treatment on the GT3 includes a carbon front hood, carbon side fenders, a magnesium roof, a carbon wing, and we have 20s in the front and 21s in the rear. We have two 65s in the front and three 25s in the rear. Same exact tires in the rear that the 918 Spyder had. So with the GT3 RS, it shares the same exact body as the 911 turbo cars. If you walk over here, this air intake on the turbo cars is for feeding the intercooler, but this car does not have any turbos on it, so it just feeds the intake. So this is the 2019 GT3 RS. This is the facelifted version of the 991.1 GT3 RS. Let's dive into the car and see what's new from the old car. So you get these new NOCA ducts. What's really cool about them is they do not affect drag at all. Air runs over them, and then it also runs inside of here and cools the brakes. You also have brake cooling here as well. And then with the new car, you also get a bigger front splitter. So on to these side louvers. Probably one of my favorite aesthetic parts of the GT3 RS besides that big wing, but we're not there yet. But these things are very, very functional. What's cool about them is you have a lot of turbulent air that builds up inside the wheel when you're on the track, and it actually lifts the car up. So to keep the car down, the turbulent air has to escape the car. So it comes out of these slots here. So finally we're on the back end of the GT3 RS. As you can tell, this thing has a pretty big wing on the back of it. And no, it's not for eating lunch. It creates a lot of downforce on the track. This is not a road car with a big wing on it. This is a race car that you're able to put number plates on and drive it on the street. So this is why the GT3 RS is by far my favorite Porsche of all time. It doesn't have any turbos on it. This car revs to 9,000 RPM. It has a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6, fitted with a titanium muffler. And just like the front, there's no Porsche badge, it's a Porsche sticker. Same with the back end. There's no GT3 RS logo, it's just a GT3 RS sticker. Alright, let's go drive the GT3 RS. So, here's the key, like normal Porsche fashion. Key's on the left-hand side, put the key in the ignition. Hear that? 4-liter, naturally aspirated, flat stick. So yeah, this is a race car. Alcantara steering wheel. We don't have normal door handles. These are door pulls to save some extra weight. We have carbon bucket seats. I love these seats. Manual adjustable, so you have a little lever down here, moves the seat up and back. Red rev counter. All right, let's show the screen. But it still has your normal Porsche features, like you get a touch screen, has nav, has all your hard buttons, nav, map, just like your normal screen. So it tells your car, max mile per hour. You have cup holders in the car as well. So everything is pretty straightforward. It even has a backup camera. What's nice, you get these red seat belts. Alright. Let's go and drive it. You ready? Yeah. Alright, so to put the car in drive, have your foot on the brake. So normal Porsche fashion, the transmission is super fast shifting. I'm already in 4th gear going 27 miles an hour. So need to like reboot myself from this. Like, I've driven some awesome cars, but like, man, this car, it's just like, it just shows you how good Porsches actually are. Like, they get better and better. Love tracking cars, and this car, you can just tell that it just wants to keep on being pushed and pushed. Like, it's, man, I'm honestly speechless right now. I never thought I'd be actually saying this about this car. I knew this car was amazing, but it's really impressed me. It's literally unreal. All right, let's do a launch here. So put your foot on the brake.
I have to thank Porsche Naples for giving me this amazing car to review. If you are interested in this GT3RS, please check the info in the description below. Please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.